So I want to change gears. There's no good segue to talk to China. You have been very strong in your messaging on China being a malign influence and really part of great power competition. They've seemingly ramped up their game. China wages a global campaign called Operation Fox Hunt. You and I had an opportunity to talk about Fox Hunt last year in Sedona. And just for the audience, the wider audience, because you won't be familiar probably with that term necessarily, it's a malign program that the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party of China, uses to target Chinese political rivals, dissidents, and critics of China. And last year when we spoke, there hadn't been a prosecution. Flash forward a year later, and the United States just had a successful prosecution. 3 individuals were convicted of harassing a family on our shores here in the United States at the behest of China. So can you talk a little bit more? I'm not talking about the espionage threat. I'm literally talking about this policy of repression that is worldwide, but it also operates here, much similar to Iran operating here in our space. Could you talk a little bit about China's repression?
Sure.
Policy?
I mean, most people are familiar with China's well-documented efforts at repression and human rights abuses in China. What a lot of people don't know is that same repression is something that they've exported to other countries, including the United States. And unfortunately, in the United States, it primarily targets Chinese Americans. Those are the victims. These are people who left China, who are often very critical of the Chinese Communist Party and the regime. And China doesn't like it when people criticize them. And the lengths that they will go to, this Operation Fox Hunt is styled as an anti-corruption campaign, but essentially it's an effort to threaten, harass, stalk, surveil, coerce people who criticize the regime and haul them back to China, threatening their families, etc. And it is, in a sense, while it's distinct from the efforts to steal our intellectual property and to conduct the world's biggest hacking program and everything else, they fit together because they both reflect a disregard for international norms and the rule of law, and they complement each other in a really troubling way. So part of the point of silencing critics is so people won't call out their theft, their hacking, etc. So it's important for us to try to do everything we can to reach out to Chinese Americans here in the United States who are being targeted with this kind of conduct and to be there to help them.